What's up, everyone? It's Saturday, February 7th. We are 1 day away from the biggest game of the year, biggest game on the planet today. We're getting a little weird with it tonight. We're talking Bad Bunny, nipples, some Super Bowl props. Is Stefon Diggs going to be proposing to Cardi B at midfield? And we're going to touch on the $50,000 bet that ended up with a guy sprinting across the grass. I believe he cashed in on that bet on himself. So we'll touch base on that. We've also got some NFL news. Kliff Kingsbury is officially with the LA Rams. The Browns are still the Browns, absolute shambles. And is Nick Saban finally going to be the NCAA college football commissioner? So my name is Kevin Showalter. This is the Sideline Podcast, episode 71. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And we're here every Saturday, 6 p.m. plus or minus. Let's get right into it. We'll bring Duffy in here. How you doing, Duff?
Doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you filling in a little bit early tonight. Booker is traveling, and so appreciate you getting on here. Is the ice has melted down
south?
It was
actually nice today. Wind played golf. It was 65 degrees. So
see, now the rain is back here in Washington. So it just it kind of you can't get it all everywhere, right? So I kind of want you guys to be in the ice storm because then we had 50 degrees in sunny weather, which I drove by a climate change sign the other day on people protesting on the highway, and like at first I was like, all right, yeah, you're protesting, and I was like, all right, it is 50 degrees in the middle of February. Like that's a little interesting if you're going to go with the global warming, but that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. So let's jump into some sports here. So first up, we've got our what's trending in sports. We're going to just touch base on some of the things happening in there, which I saw right before. I don't know if it was fake news, clickbait, or what, but George Pickens looking like the Cowboys are going to franchise tag him. So that was kind of some big news here as of 45 minutes ago. But first up, I've got I don't know, are you much of a baseball fan or not? Not too much.
Yeah, big baseball guy.
This Tarik Skubal stuff is Skubal. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that correctly. But the MLB, the arbitration, I just think it's wild. If you're watching on the portrait view and you can see this little graphic here, it shows kind of his salaries over the first couple years of his career. It's just crazy to me that a 29-year-old best pitcher in the game in his prime has to fight for like a normal salary. And so translating this to the NFL, you see those memes on the internet of what is this in NFL terms or NBA teams. To me, this is like Josh Allen playing for $15 million next year and fighting. He's got to go to argue with his owners to get a fair market salary. So it's just crazy that this guy's 29 years old, 2 Cy Youngs, and still fighting for, again, this is massive money for you and me, but for one of the best pitchers in baseball, I mean, it's just crazy. What are your thoughts on this? Is it true? One more question for you. Did he actually carry his Cy Young awards into the meeting? Because I saw that and I was like, is that accurate? If it is, that's a legendary move right there.
Yeah, I have no clue if he actually did that. And before I get to that, I think Pickens is official on the franchise tag. Schefter tweeted it, so
okay, all right.
That seems pretty official to me.
Yep.
But yeah, I think arbitration is an interesting conversation along with like service time manipulation and all that in baseball, because I think for the individuals it's not great, but for the league as a whole, the state the league is in, I think that's really good because it allows teams to build their big league roster through the farm system and gives them a little more time to try to stay competitive through those rebuilds versus like if you were to get rid of arbitration and how long rookie contracts are and service time manipulation, there would be no competition in the league because there's very few teams that spend at the top level, and those teams already are dominant, and they would be even more dominant. So I think it's good for baseball. It sucks for the individual, but like Skubal's going to make generational wealth anyway on his first contract. It'll be probably $500-600 million. So
fair enough.
At the end of the day, he'll be all right.
But then and again, we don't want to spend too much time on baseball here, at least this time of year. We got so many NFL things to get into, but it's just crazy that a 29-year-old, like, what are they going to do? Give him a 12-year contract, and now you're expecting a guy that throws 100-plus miles per hour is going to still do that at 39, 38, 40 years old. So I don't know. It's interesting to me. I mentioned it there in the intro. We've got Kliff Kingsbury to the Rams. The rich get richer. I don't even know if he came out with a job title yet. He's just trying to get some of that Sean McVay rub in LA and be a springboard to his next job. So you think it's one and done for Kliff in LA? Or, what do you thought of this news here with Kingsbury going to the Rams?
I honestly have not been super in the loop with that. I'm assuming he's taking Is their offensive coordinator position open? I don't think it is, right?
I don't remember the guy's name. He was a younger fella that was interviewing for the Browns. It got an interesting last name that I'm not going to try even to pronounce it right now. I know he was up for some jobs. I don't think he took any job. So I think he's going to remain the offensive coordinator. I mean, this is like coming in as an advisor a la Doug Peterson, or just like, hey, let me go, I think it's a springboard to his next job, or if that guy takes a head coaching job, he's going to be set up in that McVay pipeline. But it'll be interesting. The Jim Schwartz, my Eagles fans are a little crazy this week of talking. I mean, there's a lot of buzz about is Vic Fangio going to retire, and already lining up the DC for next year and that kind of stuff. This stuff is interesting because he resigned, but then I saw on X, I think it was today, it might have been Adam Schefter or somebody like that, where it's like, is the story still finished? I can't actually see if that's not what this graphic might say, but yeah, just is he like trying to get more money in a sense? Like, hey, I resigned, but if you give me a Miles, not a Myles Garrett type of contract, but like he did, where I want out, but actually if you pay me, I want back in. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Any other storylines, trending things I'm going to touch on here before we jump into our college football talk tonight?
Only other thing I got is North Carolina just beat Duke on a buzzer beater 3. So
okay, there we
that's
go.
a big win for North Carolina at home.
Tis the season, man. I mean, it is. Yeah, we will get into our bracketology and not a bracketology, but we did a March Madness kind of giveaway thing last year, and that's been a fun little challenge Booker and I have done over the last, for a while. And so it's fun to involve others in that. So yeah, we'll definitely have some March Madness buzz going here soon. So I am excited for that as we mourn the loss of football. But before we get into the NFL stuff, again, Bad Bunny, Stephon Diggs, we got all of that coming here shortly, but let's just touch base in college football. We've got some storylines. I put USC on the background here because where I wanted to start is, let me make sure I don't misquote this. So USC landed the top recruiting class in 2026. This is the first non-SEC school since 2020 Clemson. I just thought this was interesting for Lincoln Riley that he's still got his fastball in the recruiting portal, in the recruiting classes, and is still able to go out there and get look high schoolers in the eyes and get them to come to USC. So any thoughts on the recruiting class 2026 USC? Are they going to be back soon, or are they just still middle of the road Big Ten type of team?
Yeah, I mean, at some point Lincoln's going to have to put results on the field. They've always recruited well while he's been there, but he's really had very little to no success since he got there from Oklahoma. So at some point the recruiting is going to have to transfer onto the field, but maybe this is what he needed, a big spark. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, what do you got? Any storylines that you're wanting to touch base on tonight?
Yeah, I'll keep it with the recruiting a little bit. I think one of the more sleeper transfer portal classes in the country this year is going to be Arkansas. They are bringing in like 41 new transfers. It's essentially going to be a whole new roster. Bringing like 25 high school guys too. And they're really only retaining in important positions. They're keeping KJ Jackson at quarterback. They're keeping Quincy Rhodes at D end. And both those guys are impact players. They got a running back that's coming back. But I think it could be a big improvement for them next year. We'll see how it works out with all these new guys, if they can come together. But it's new staff, so they could be moving in the right direction.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because you are our resident Texas A&M homer. Are you now, because you're transferred to Arkansas or Arkansas State somewhere, right? Not to put your business here on blast, but go and find him if you're in the Arkansas area. No, but are you in Arkansas? Are you a Razorback now? Or are you still lean with the Aggies through and through? Or where do you line there?
We're making the transfer. So all basketball season, I've rooted for Arkansas because I knew I was going to come here, and we're going to switch it over next football season.
Wow.
My dad's not too happy about it.
You heard it here first. So, all right. Well, the Texas A&M Aggies are dead to us officially February 7th. Sorry, Mr. Papa Duff there. So we'll have to get him on the show sometime. You two can duke it out here on the TSP community. So let's move it along. I thought this was interesting. We've touched on this a couple weeks in a row. But just that Kirk Herbstreit came out this week on the Dan Patrick Show and said it just makes sense for Nick Saban to be the college football commissioner. I think a lot of the pushback at times is like he doesn't have a lot of run. I mean, he's not like old about to die, but is he going to want to do this for the next 25, 30 years? I just think it does make too much sense as like a stopgap get him in there. You get instant authority and let him run the show for 2 or 3 years, groom somebody. And he's proven that he can develop young coaches. I think you put him in there and then you give him a little second in command who will take the reins and let him pick that person. Again, whether it's the Josh Pates of the world, or which that doesn't seem realistic. I mean, it could be, but let him pick somebody that he can groom. Are we getting closer? I know we've been teasing this a lot, but are we getting closer to a college football commissioner since Herbie called him out, or still probably nothing for the next 5 years?
I'd really like to say yes, because it's such an absolute show right now. And it's sad that we are where we are with college football, and I hope they figure it out sometime, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope that it'll be in the next 5 years.
Yeah. And then again, we need somebody, because we've got the Wild West right now of eligibility. I mean, let me read you some of this stuff. So we've got Trinidad Chambliss. He was denied by the NCAA this coming week. So big news this coming week in college football. Both quarterbacks have a hearing, injunction, a lot of legal jargon going on. I think it's interesting that Trinidad Chambliss is going to a Mississippi State court hearing. I think Booker posted something on X about this, but it's like, how do you expect that to go? Like a Mississippi judge. I know they will be impartial, but in the South, wanting their quarterback to return, I just think that is interesting. And then Joey Aguilar, also, again, these guys are just pushing for their 9th year of college football. Any other thoughts on these two? I know there's probably others. We talked about Mensa last week, but just how do you think these two shake out? I know I read that Aguilar, they wanted figured out by spring ball so they can go, swipe somebody else's quarterback if need be. But do you think both of these guys are back with their respective teams, or are they going to be looking for a last-minute transfer?
I think because of the precedent that's been set, I think they both will. Not quite as sure on Aguilar, but if you're a judge in the state of Mississippi, you went to Ole Miss Law School. So I don't see Trinidad not getting his. And also I think there's a real argument there because he played Division II for a lot of his career. So I think they probably both will. A little more confident that Trinidad will for sure, though.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Let's see. Any other storylines you want to touch on? I know we want to there we go. Can't be perfect, right? I want to hit mostly on NFL stuff tonight, but it's good to at least touch base on college football. It's a drier time of year, but again, with all this transfer stuff, there's always good things to talk about in the college world. So anything else you have for us?
Yeah, I got one more short one. North Dakota State's finally making the jump to the FBS from the FCS. I think they've won about as much as they possibly can down there. So they're going to move into the Mountain West. I'm not sure if that's next year or I didn't get a timeline on it, but
yeah, no, that's huge. That's a good spot. It's like a perfect landing spot for them. That's great. If it is next year, they could be. So Mountain West would still be. They would get in the G5 automatic if they're the best team. So North Dakota State hypothetically could be playing for a Natty next year if it goes through that quickly.
And they are only moving to the Mountain West for football. No other sports.
Okay. Yeah. I think they will do well, especially playing in that conference. I just think that the style of football that they play and some of these teams having to travel to North Dakota that haven't had to do that before. I know they play in a dome there, but that'd be interesting. That's a nice pull there from you. So, all right, let's move it along here to our NFL side of things. So again, we appreciate you guys stopping by. Taking some time out of your busy day to be with us here in the TSP community. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We've got, some Super Bowl props, some NFL stuff. Obviously, the big game is tomorrow. So without further ado, let's go get the quad box going here. We got Alo and Tyler. As always, how you doing, fellas?
What's up, guys?
We ready for the big game tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait.
We got the prop bet sheets out. We're ready to go.
You're ready to go. But before we get to that, what's your go-to Super Bowl party snack? Because I talked to a couple people this week where I'm like, if the Eagles are playing or my team is playing, I want no parties. Like I want me, the TV, recliner, some beverage, and like locked in. I don't want people. But if it's not my team, I'm like, let's have a party. Let's get the food going. And so I don't think anybody's got real a dog in the fight in this one. So what's our go-to Super Bowl party snacks for tomorrow that you're looking forward to?
I'm having the Super Bowl party.
Okay.
But I am doing pizza, but if I got to choose, I'd probably do wings. That's my to-go-to.
You do wings?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing snacks. If we're doing snacks, I'm going to do buffalo chicken dip all day.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's a solid one. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Listen, you're already taking both of mine. My wife makes a killer buffalo chicken dip, and I will eat tons of that. But I also love wings. I can't deny football and wings. It's too perfect of a pairing. That's the way to go.
The real question is, would you do ranch or blue cheese?
It's ranch. Blue cheese is literally molded cheese. These people out here liking blue cheese. You can come at me all day long. It's molded. It's cheese that has gone bad. That's why it's blue. Give me the ranch.
Give me the ranch. There we go. This is what you're looking forward to. Here come March and April. It's Tyler and Ayla arguing about ranch and blue cheese. So stay tuned. All right, Ayla, we've got a special edition. Alo's A-team during the regular season. You were doing this with a fantasy football spin, so I won't take too much of your thunder here, but why don't you explain to the fine folks out there what your A-team looks like tonight and, what we're looking at here.
Yeah, so at number 5, I have Carlton Davis. He ranks second in the postseason with 2 interceptions. Honestly, that's their best chance for the Patriots to win, is to force Donald to turn the ball over. And he's a key part of it, especially with Christian Gonzalez probably guarding JSN. I think it's going to be important for Carlton Davis to lock up Cooper Kupp. So I could see Davis having another 2-pick game, especially in the Super Bowl. You have 2 picks. You're the reason why I could see you getting the Super Bowl MVP. And Darnold has been, the coach has said, like, he's going to have him throw the ball no matter what. So there's a good chance that could happen. At number 4, DeMarcus Lawrence. He's 33, but he actually ranks 5th in the postseason in sacks this year. He has 2 of them. He's the sleeper. I can see him giving Drake May a headache. May has struggled. I wouldn't say so much May. I would say more his offensive line. And Will Campbell has struggled guarding. I could see DeMarcus Lawrence feasting. I should have honestly put him higher because of that. What do you guys think of those 2 so far?
I love the DeMarcus Lawrence. I need the Cowboys to suffer tomorrow, like every other day of the year. So if they traded a guy away, got a fresh start. I don't even think they traded. They might have just let him walk. Yeah. And if he wins Super Bowl MVP, that would be sweet justice. I think we all probably agree it's a quarterback's award to win most times. But I like your first 2 picks.
Yeah. All right. Coming in at number 3. Stephon Diggs. I can see Diggs having over 100 yards. He's going to play a big role in order for the Patriots to win, especially because he's May's best and most important target, I'd say. I can see him going off. He usually has one of those games where he does something dumb and crashes out, but I have not seen that yet. So maybe instead he has the game of his life. And I do feel that in order for the Patriots to win, he's going to have to have the game of his life. And then Cooper Kupp, he's super important and needs to have the best game of this season because he's going to have a great chance, because I think Mike Vrabel will do the same thing that Bill Belichick does and takes out their best player, which on offense, which is JSN. I think he gets double teamed. I think they take him out. And I will say that in order for them to have a success on offense, Cooper Kupp's going to have to take off. And if he wins, he will be winning his second MVP, Super Bowl MVP. So that's super important. And then lastly, my biggest sleeper, I think, is super electric, a great playmaker, TreVeyon Henderson. I know they've been feeding the ball and giving it to Stevenson, but in this Super Bowl, in the last couple games they played, they haven't really had to score a lot. But like I said, in this Super Bowl, the offense is going to have to come up with more than 10 points. And one of those ways is by TreVeyon Henderson taking off. I mean, the man can run an 80-yard touchdown at any moment. I can see him going for 140, I can see him getting 2 TDs, and I can see him winning MVP. I mean, there's going to have to be something like that in order for the Patriots to win, and I think he's going to be the person that can do it. And I think they're first going to ride with Stevenson, but later on, as the game goes, they're going to let Travion Henderson take off. That's my top 5. What do you guys think of the last 3?
Yeah, I really like Diggs and Cooper Kupp. Diggs, I saw a lot online about Diggs' performance in the AFC Championship, but I think if you watched the game and saw the conditions, you wouldn't think much of it. The ball really was not in the air that much, so I think that's a dumb take that he's not effective anymore. He had 1,000 yards this year, so
Yeah.
I think Kupp is always a weapon all the time, especially the postseason. So I like those.
I like the Henderson pick a lot, actually. I think he was a sleeper for me. If the draft board kind of fell a certain way and the Colts had a chance to kind of get a little bit nutty with a pick, I love the idea of Henderson and JT as a 1-2 punch. So yeah, that's a great pick there. If the Patriots want a chance against the Seahawks, they have to do something to slow down that defensive line, and running the ball is what they need to do. They need to be able to get Henderson loose, get him out there, and that will take some of that pressure off May in a big time game. But again, you're also talking about leaning on another rookie, or a rookie this year at least. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But yeah, I love Henderson as a sleeper MVP pick.
I guess my only question to you guys real quick, I know I didn't talk about it, but I was going to say, is there like a sleeper pick that you guys have that's not on my list?
I don't have a sleeper pick, but you can get odds on Will Campbell. I saw that. You can get Will Campbell like plus 16,000 or something.
Those odds.
If you want to bet an offensive lineman, you can.
There you go. Go Indiana and give it to the entire offensive line. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Tyler's like, yeah, man.
Yeah, well, you love seeing those. You love seeing those linemen eat. For a sleeper pick, what would be a good sleeper? Gonzalez just locks up JSN and takes over the game and steals that option from Darnold. And then they have no choice to give it to him. If he really holds JSN in check the whole game, and that disrupts the way the offensive flows, it could be a nice little sleeper pick right there. I
like I don't know, is it Keyshawn Boutte? And they have another deep threat. Is it Kyle Williams, I think?
Yeah.
I think one of those two would have to get like 2 massive touchdowns. But something like that'd be a sleeper pick for me. One of those guys goes for like 2 touchdowns and 150 yards, and on maybe 2 it might be on 2 catches, but something like that. I like the Trey Henderson as well, because anybody who's had Stevenson in fantasy football knows that he's 1 or 2 fumbles away from getting yanked. In this game, one bad fumble, and I could see Vrabel being like, all right, we're going with the home run hitter. So yeah, he's got to get into the game early. It's interesting, the narrative on like there's different, you read just so many different things on the internet of like, hey, Drake May is such an efficient passer this year, but then you also read like, hey, run the ball, don't make him throw the ball as much. So I see both arguments for the Patriots all over X, all over the internet, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. So all right, well, appreciate you, Alo, for bringing us a little special edition A-team there. All right, so those of you on the portrait mode, you're seeing our first What Are the Odds, but this is a little bit of maybe a new segment or maybe a one-time hitter here for the Super Bowl. But what are the odds? I don't know if you guys have ever played that game, like just with your buddy, like, hey man, what are the odds you'll jump in that pool right now? Anyway, it's a game that Booker and I have played for a long time, and you got to give the person odds. You pick a number. If they pick the same number, then you're jumping in the pool. So it's kind of a play on that game. But then obviously with the Super Bowl, we're talking a lot of different prop bets on so many ridiculous things. And so nothing brings – it's funny. I mean, is it funny, not funny? I chose the Trump and the Bad Bunny for a YouTube thumbnail. 1, because I figured it would do well. And 2, because the Super Bowl brings us together, right? So many different points of view, so many different things. But – we all come together around the Super Bowl all over the world. So it's a great day tomorrow. Even if our teams aren't on it, it's going to be good. So without further ado, let's get into some What Are the Odds. So I see up here it's the total points. We're going to get into that. Let's get into some of these fun ones first. So game's going to start with the national anthem. We've got Charlie Puth And honestly, I've gone back and forth on this because the unders have been crushing in 119 seconds. And so let me see if we got this. There we go. How long will the national anthem be? Over under 119 seconds. So that 2-minute mark is what we're looking at here. John Batista last year went right over 2 minutes with 100 and or no, he officially hit the under. Crushing it here. Reba McEntire went under. Stapleton went over. Mickey Guyton went over. So the last couple have gone under. Then we had a run there of 2 overs. What are we thinking on this one, fellas? Is Charlie Puth going to be holding out those notes or keeping it short and sweet?
I'll listen. I'll go first, guys.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Listen, he's going to get so full. He's going over. He's sick of seeing the unders. He wants to just hold a few notes, and it's going to be that last one, that brave. He's going to hold it just long enough. Give me 6 seconds on that last one. Hold out long enough to get to the 200 seconds. Or the 120 seconds. So give me the over on this one. Absolutely.
And I kid you not, when I did some research on this one today, we were into the stats on is he going to play piano or not? Because I was like, if he's playing some piano, he's going to have some licks and some riffs and stuff in there that even if his voice isn't dragging it out, I could see him, a little piano solo. So, all right, Tyler's taking the over. Alo, how about you? Are you going over or under on Charlie Puth?
I'm going over. I mean, the man is super talented. I hope he does play the piano. And if he does, he's definitely going over. But without the piano, I still think he does. Like Tyler said it perfectly. I mean, he's going to hit a couple notes, drag it on, but he is super talented. I kind of wish somebody like that did the halftime show, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Pop singer. I feel like a lot of his songs are like short, kind of catchy, like short songs. So I don't know, Duff. We won't all answer on all of these, but let's start it off here with all of our opinions, and then we'll go more rapid fire. But Duffy, you taking the over or the under on 119.5?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think if I'm understanding right, he's been out of the mainstream for a little bit. I think this is a good moment in the sun for him. So I think he's going to take advantage of it, go over.
That's right. All right, this one, this one was, I found this online. I did not, and I don't have a graphic for this one, but I set the line on this. I saw the idea on the internet. I didn't see an actual line. So how many headsets do we think are thrown in this game? And the Kevin line is 0.5. I think both of these coaches are pretty mild-mannered. Seem like they stay pretty calm. This isn't a Nick Sirianni or a Dan Campbell out there that's going to be absolutely going nuclear on a headset. But 0.5, we think a headset is getting thrown tomorrow. Let's go Duffy on this one.
Yeah, I think yes, because I think Vrabel's got a good like sharp edge to him. So I think if things don't go their way at some point, I think we could see a headset hit the ground.
Yeah. There we go. All right, then we'll throw this one to Tyler and Alo. So the Bad Bunny nipple. I just thought this is hilarious that it's a minus 450 is the yes, and it's a pretty heavy underdog on the no here. But Booker, we miss you tonight, Booker. But he also mentioned there's some stuff out there is like the length of dress that he might be wearing. So we'll stick with the nipple for now, and then if we want to get into the dress as well. But yes or no, Tyler and Alo, do we see a Bad Bunny nipple tomorrow night?
Absolutely. You're going to have to load up the full 450 if you want to make any money on this. You might have to put $1,000 on it. It's happening. Whether the outcome of how it happens, we'll see. Whether it's because it's getting torn away and he's trying to get away, and then we get a nipple that way, or he just actually flashes it all the way. We'll see. But it's definitely coming out. I mean, you're going to have to load it up to make any money.
Halo, you agree with that?
I do. I think it sure comes off in the first 10 seconds, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's got the Latin in him. He's got the spice. He's trying to show out for the Super Bowl. I think he comes out in the first. Honestly, he might come out there with no shirt on, to be honest. So
I could see that. I could see him starting out. Starting out like that. That would definitely make some sense. All right, let's rein it in a little bit more for the younger listeners out here. So let's go total points scored over under. I think a common narrative has been around the defenses, but sometimes these can be the low scoring grudge match. But these teams can obviously put up points as well. We talked about both squads have quite a few home run hitter type of players. So we taking the over, the under on 45.5 points. Duffy, why don't you take this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go under. I think these are both really formidable defenses, and you also have two quarterbacks who have not been on this stage yet. And like neither of them even really played that massive of games in college. So I think this is a new level of pressure that both those guys are going to feel. So, yeah, I'm going to go under.
Yeah. Tyler, Alo, you got any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I'm going against the grain on this one. I do think it starts slow here. I absolutely agree with Duffy. I think it's going to be kind of a rock fight early on while they're trying to get it all figured out. But something tells me in the second half, maybe late third quarter, fourth quarter, things get loose all of a sudden, and it ends up being something like 24-23 and just gets over that 45 mark. So that's what I'm looking at, like 24-23 score, and it kind of gets loose in there late in the game, and that's what pushes it over. But Duffy's right on it. The first three quarters are probably going to be a rock fight.
I'm actually going to disagree. I think the first quarter will be rough. But the problem is, I think, Darnold and the Seahawks have a good offense. I think the problem is going to be that they're going to score, and I think the Patriots are going to – they want Drake May to run the ball. They want them to run the ball, but I think he's going to have to sling the ball. And I think when it comes to the third, fourth quarter, I could see them being down by 10, and then they're going to have to keep scoring. And we did talk about, the 5 MVPs that I talked about. I think if Travion Henderson has a chance and he does win it, then that means they do go over. Then even if JSN or Cooper Kupp does, I just feel the Patriots will always be behind. So they're both going to have to score a lot.
Yeah. I like that. Patriots playing keep or catch up the whole game. But again, back to my pick last week. We'll see if we have any changes this week. But I still think the Patriots are going to pull this out late. So spoiler there. But all right, let's go one more here on the graphics, and then we'll just rapid fire any other ones that we have. Over 2.5 players to attempt to pass, plus 175. I thought this is interesting because it's you hear it a lot of, hey, these teams have been practicing their trick plays, their fake punts all year long. But then this also kind of feels like a trap where it's like it could be just a game where it just drop back and but I don't know. What do we think? 2.5 players throwing a pass. We think there's going to be some trick plays, an injured quarterback. Tyler, what are your thoughts on this one?
So I think I didn't do enough research on this one. I should have dug a little deeper, but it feels like, and correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, feels like we have seen a little bit of some type of trickery every single Super Bowl in the last few that there's been. So I do think this is, if there's ever a kitchen sink game, this is it. Are they probably expecting that on both sides? Yeah, but especially in a game like this where the defenses are going to play such a big role and they're trying to get loose any way they can. And especially if the Patriots, as we kind of expect, are trying to fight back at the end or something along those lines, there's going to be some type of trickeration here. So I'm absolutely going to 3. At the very least, you got 2 formidable defenses that might knock out a QB for a play or 2. They'd probably end up back in the game, toughing it out, but we might see somebody else throw a pass just for a couple plays.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I actually have JSN throwing a touchdown to Walker.
Okay. All right. I like that.
Ooh, spicy.
I like that. They do a lot of the motion of JSN or Rashid in the backfield. Booker's father-in-law last week was mentioned about Rashid Shaheed catching those fly sweeps, those things in the backfield. I could see him tossing one over the top on something like that. That could be. I like that. I like that call of a wide receiver throwing a pass tomorrow. But yeah, I think the over feels safe there. Any other prop you guys have seen on the internet this week? Again, they're all over the place. I have a couple more for us, but anything else that you've seen on X or around different parts of the internet this week that you thought was funny or serious? It can be either way.
Go ahead, Alo.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't think the Patriots are getting a ring, but I was gonna say, what's the chances that Diggs proposes to Cardi B?
What's less than 0? You're gonna have to load that one up worse than the nipple one, my friend. Minus 1,600. No, that would be my guess.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I just seen that pop up. I just thought it was hilarious because that's Hey, we all know how Stephon Diggs is, so that's some stuff that he would do. Honestly,
the internet's buzzing on that one. I don't know if you put these odds in here, but it's got a plus 1100 on the probably a yes. So it's definitely interesting. The internet is certainly talking about that one, and the Cardi B, Robert Kraft, Stephon Diggs, dynamics are interesting. So I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I thought this was interesting of what are the odds someone will run onto the field. I don't remember. It was in Tampa, the Florida in Tampa in 2021. This guy's name is Yuri, and I should have pulled the video or something on this guy, but he bet 50,000, and then he was the guy who did it and ran onto the field. I saw he had a $1,000 fine. Yeah. Obviously, spent a night or two or three in prison. Do we have anybody pull any kind of crazy stuff like that? I was reading on it. It's like it's probably the hardest venue of the year to try something like this. But do we see a crowd storm or a fan storming the field this year? Here we go, Kevin. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if we see it. I don't know if that guy ever got paid out though, because I remember they were originally refusing to pay him out, and he was suing them. So I don't know how that lawsuit.
Yeah.
But
until that lawsuit shakes out, I don't think we see another one. I think that's a failed attempt. So I wouldn't go for it. The security's up. And the $1,000 fine's the easy one to pay. I just don't want to get hit by that Seattle. I don't want to get hit by Vrabel. Vrabel's probably the one coming in to take me down when I try to streak across the field. But I did look into a few loans to see what odds I could get, and then if it would cover the interest rate after I won the bet for streaking myself.
I was gonna say I definitely see it happening. We live in 2026. There's some wild people out there, and some people just don't care. Yeah. And some people just don't care where they might want to get hit by Vrabel, to be honest, tell their future kids or their grandkids. But yeah, I definitely see it happening.
I thought this one was interesting. The classic Gatorade color dumped on the winning coach. There was no hints. Sometimes that can give it away in the championship game. Nobody got the Gatorade bath in the championship game. I thought this is I should have put this graphic up too, but orange plus 215, purple plus 260, yellow, green, lime plus 275. Spoiler, that's what the Eagles did last year, my last night as a defending Super Bowl champion. This I thought was interesting. Red is down by clear and water at 1,200. When the Patriots are a red team, but maybe these teams aren't drinking red Gatorade anymore because all the dyes and stuff, and where the crunchy moms out there. But what do we think on that? Any guesses on the toss up of Gatorade color?
Not my favorite color, but I'm gonna go orange. I mean, it's not my favorite flavor, but I just feel like it's one of those basic ones. I feel like they're gonna toss that on the winner. And I think they're going to try and throw us off, like you said, with the red, even though I think it should have been higher because the Patriots are red. But I just think it's going to be one of those funny colors that has no matches with the two teams.
Yeah.
Give me yellow in this one. That's the dog in my race. Give me yellow. I think it's a sneaky pick. I think they shocked the world by dumping yellow on them.
There we go.
I'm going to go blue. I feel like blue's always a sleeper, and you can always get good odds on it. So I'm going to go blue.
Nice. I think this is from I think this is from Booker. Or was this from one of you guys? But McDonald getting doused in Rainier beer after tomorrow's win. So that's one of the local brews out here in Washington. So it's in the water. Maybe that's Olympia beer that's in the water. But a little Rainier bath would certainly. Now, if they had the Gatorade cooler filled with that, there'd be some definite scandal with that. What have these boys been drinking during the Super Bowl? But yeah,
I mean, that's just got to be the McDonald's shout out at the end, right? He's got to go to the Coach Sig route. My guy, Coach Sig, up there getting free beer for life for just shouting it out on there. And my other guy, Peyton Manning, is the one who started it with, shouting out Bud Light. Now that man's drinking for free. So we really got a run going of good beer deals off of just shouting them out. So I would go for it. I just, whether he gets doused in it or not, just say their name and get the free beer.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, a couple more here. Let's get back on the not the realistic train, but Drake May 20+ completions minus 127. We talked about it a little bit there. Do we think he's gonna? I mean, Ayla, you kind of mentioned like, hey, if the Patriots are down, They're going to have to be throwing the ball a little bit to catch up. Not necessarily going to be playing with a lead like they probably want to be, make Darnold be in that pressure situation. So do we think Drake May is going to get over 20 completions in this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna go over on that one. I agree that I think the Patriots will be down and probably having to air it out down the stretch of this thing. So
yeah, I'm going to take the over in this one as well, but I think it's something that happens late against, some soft defenses, and he's just trying to chip it down the field. So he's just racking up completions towards the end there as Seattle just wants to waste time and run the clock down.
Yeah, I'm going with the over too. I think he gets in the 30s.
Okay. And then here's another one. JSN 94 receiving yards, minus 113. Again, some games this is a guaranteed lock with the Patriots playing kind of that funnel zone defense, probably going to double, triple team this man and make everybody else beat him. Do we think he hits that 94? And he could hit this in the first quarter pretty easily. Is that a guaranteed thing, or what are we thinking on the 94.5 receiving yards? Alo, what you got on that?
I was going to say, well, JSN, first of all, is one of my favorite wide receivers. I'll start with that. And I do think he gets it. I actually think he wins MVP. I think he has like 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. I just think at this point, we keep saying, oh, who's going to lock down JSN? Who's going to stop him? And nobody has. And I don't think they will. Darnold and him have a great duo right now. I don't think that's getting stopped.
Yeah.
I'm also taking the over on this one. I think they do limit him a little bit, but the thing is, all it takes is one big chunk play, and he seems to find that one big chunk play every single time. So whether he has 3 receptions or 8 receptions, it seems like he has 100+ every single time. So that's the thing. Even if it's just they do hold him and they keep him to low receptions, and it's only 3. Somehow, I feel like one of them is going to be 60 yards, and then the other 2 are going to factor up enough to get him over that 94 mark.
There we go. Duffy, who do you think scores the first touchdown tomorrow? How about that? What's your guess on that? I don't have any odds on that, but go ahead.
First touchdown, Kenneth Walker. I think another good option is Keyshawn Butte. He's been playing really well.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go back to Alo and Tyler on this one. Over under on Bad Bunny's total number of songs. So it looks like it's set at 11.5 songs, minus 110. I think the over and the under both around that minus 110 there. So yeah, it's 50. I was going to do the amount of time, but then I thought that was interesting on the total number of songs, because they usually just cram as many songs in there as they can. But what are your thoughts on that, Tyler and Alo? How many songs are we getting tomorrow night?
Listen, I'm the Ankh on here. Back in my day, we made music that was 4 minutes or longer. In your all's day, we make them like 2 minutes or less. So give me the over just to fill out the whole thing. He's probably got to sing 11 songs at least to get through the whole halftime performance. So yeah, I'm going over because I'm an old boomer yelling off the porch.
I'm gonna go 11. I'm gonna go over 11 because same thing. I mean, he might have a song that's a minute. You never know these days. And then another thing is, I'm probably only going to know like 1 or 2 songs, to be honest with you. But yeah, I do think he goes over 11 for sure.
Nice. Duff, what are your thoughts on that one? Any feeling on how many songs?
Yeah, I'm going to go over 2. I think I probably know even less Bad Bunny than you, Alo. I think I know 1. So, but yeah, I'm going to go over.
Right on. Well, any other thoughts? I wanted to just finish up here with we changing our picks. I saw today the line has not moved, still 4.5 points to the Seahawks. I thought that was interesting. I definitely thought it would come down towards the end of the week here, but it's holding steady at 4.5. Are we going to get that Seattle beatdown? I was the lone wolf. I don't think you were on NFL last week, so you can make your official pick, and then Alo and Tyler, if you want to change your mind. So Duffy, why don't you take us away first? We made our cases for Seattle, for New England. Convince us why who's going to win tomorrow and why.
Yeah, I'm going to go Seattle, and I'm actually going to lay Seattle with the points. I just all year have been waiting for someone to show me why I shouldn't. be on Seattle's side and haven't been shown that yet. So
all by myself. Tyler, Alo, any changes?
Yep.
Changes of heart, changes of mind? Trevion's going to go wild. Come on, Alo.
You're staying on that island by yourself. The hatred runs deep over here in Indiana for the Patriots. So, Listen, I'm not getting on that bandwagon anytime soon. Furthermore, I just think Seattle's the better team. And, Kevin, here you go. For you, Sam Darnold at plus 900 is going to score a touchdown, a la our boy Nick Foles, who did it to the Patriots once upon a time. Remember, a couple years ago on Carolina, he was running wild and getting some touchdowns that way. I think there's going to be a lot of focus to stop his weapons. They're going to forget about him. He's going to sneak in for a touchdown, and it's just going to set the tone the rest of the way, just like it did in the Eagles game. So give me the Seahawks still covering, and give me plus 900 Sam Darnold anytime touchdown scorer.
All right. Alo, changing your mind at all, or we're holding steady?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna make you feel a little good. I'm gonna make you feel a little good though. I'm gonna bring a good memory back. Last year, the Chiefs couldn't do anything because of the offensive line. So most of the time in the Super Bowl, even with the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won, even when the Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals when it was close, they lost because the offensive line couldn't block. I mean, Chase was wide open for a touchdown to win the game. I think that's a big part of it, and I'm sorry, but the Patriots' offensive line is weak. I mean, we saw a couple of tapes where Will Campbell, it looks like he's like, hey, I don't care about this guy. Walk by, So, and they got some dogs on the Seahawks. Like we talked about DeMarcus Lawrence. I just think they feed, and then that's why I said the Patriots are going to be playing catch-up. So, yeah. I'm not changing it. I got the Seahawks by it. I mean, it's 4.5, but I think they win by more. But I think they win by like 10.
Yeah, I looked up here. So in the last 10 Super Bowls, underdogs have won 5 of the last 10. Last year, the Eagles were 1.5-point underdogs to the Chiefs. And this is not me jumping on the Patriots bandwagon. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. This is not Kevin becoming a Patriots fan. AJ Brown is not going to New England, but needless to say, I think the points is a little bit of a trap, and I think it comes down to Vrabel being that better coach in this big moment. I will say I like your thought there on Sam Darnold's kind of that sneaky athletic quarterback, which kind of means he's not very fat. He's just he's enough speed. He's not Tom Brady or Peyton Manning slow, where Drake May is like legit athlete speed fast. And so I still think the Drake May wheels partnered with the Mike Vrabel coaching, the fake punts, the whatever he's going to pull out of his bag. Two other props that came to mind. I saw one where it was like, somebody was talking about the probability of like 2 offensive linemen. Maybe it was something Booker even posted on X, but it was like pretty much just hand your money over on something like that. But it's like the chances of 2 offensive linemen scoring in this game would be insane. So that's not going to happen. And there was one other, let me see if I had it in my notes here for it just came to mind. Yep, it was in my mind and now it's gone. So I'm sticking with the Patriots. I think they're going to win this game. I definitely think they'll cover, and it's going to come down to a field goal. I will say we didn't get any TSP walk-ons this week, but I was talking to quite a few folks. There's a lot of Seahawks folks with some big predictions. I'm talking 31-7, like absolute beatdowns. I'm very curious to see how this one shakes out. I think both of these teams, you could see, like, we could show up on Tuesday and see a lot of different outcomes for this one, and so it'll only be one outcome, but I could see a lot of narratives that could be possible. So, any other thoughts on the big game before we sign off for tonight? A little bit of a shorter show, but excited for Super Bowl Sunday tomorrow. Any final thoughts?
I'm just gonna say I hope it's a good game. I think the Seahawks are gonna blow them out, but I would love to see like 34-31, and like the old Patriots and Seahawks game where it came down to the wire. Except this time they run the ball. Yeah.
You read that was literally what I was thinking. I saw something of like, if the Seahawks get to the 1 yard line, will they run it or will they throw it? Let's go around the horn on that one quick. Cause I personally think the mind games, I was playing this little board game with my son of like, it's like a football game where you're calling plays against each other and you're like trying to figure out like, okay, what's he going to play and which card matches up with that. I almost think that they get cued again and be like, all right, they're going to think, okay, we're absolutely running the ball here. So if Seattle gets down to the 1 yard line, are we running the ball? I mean, Kenneth Walker is no beast mode, but it seems like the no brainer thing to do. Do they run tush push? Like what are our thoughts there if they get down to the 1 yard line?
They are absolutely running it. I mean, unless Pete Carroll comes just streaking on the field, and maybe he's the one. Maybe he's the one that covers the bet. He comes streaking on the field to overrule and say, pass the ball. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Russell Wilson finds a way to check it at the line. He gets on a headset all of a sudden, tells Darnold, no, trust me, this time it'll work. But no, they're running the ball. And like I said, that might be where Sam Darnold gets his QB sneak for the plus 900. So they're definitely running on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, I like that. And if they don't run it, then the Seahawks fans will be the one to storm the field, and just game won't even be over, and they'll be charging the field to try and take out somebody. So, no, very good. Well, I'm excited. Again, we will get into the blue cheese versus ranch argument here in the off season. So let's recap. So we back through our props. Mostly, I think we were taking the over on Charlie Puth, thinking he's going to get a little soulful, a little piano. I think we were pretty on the same page there. Were we on the under on headsets thrown? I think we were all pretty much like coaches will stay.
He was on the over. I'm joining him on the over. Okay. Vrabel's going to be ripping a full pack on halftime while Bad Bunny's, on stage. All right. So I agree. He's raging.
I think we were over on the Bad Bunny songs, even though we were questioning how many songs that we knew. We were 100%. We're going to see a nipple probably coming out shirtless was probably the move there. JSN receiving yards seems like a good one. Gatorade, we were a little divided. We were house divided on the Gatorade color, so that'll be interesting. And then Stephon Diggs, do your thing, man. See, I think if a dude proposes in the Super Bowl, that feels like an awesome moment for him. But I don't know how many ladies out there who have dreamed of this moment. That's what's in their mind. On a football field with a bunch of sweaty dudes, confetti, fans storming the field. That's my moment. Obviously, it'd be a cool story, it'd be memorable, but I don't think that's the move if I was him, which the odds clearly show that. So, all right, well, I appreciate you guys jumping on the show here. Booker, we miss you. Safe travels, brother. And you can follow Duffy on X at HTX Ballco, Tyler, Mr. Diesel 31, and at ALO Leagues, as well as us at TSP Community on YouTube and X. Give us a subscribe. And again, we're here every Saturday, 6 p.m. plus or minus. We will be off next week. We'll probably throw together some sort of pre-recorded live stream. So there will be a live stream, but it will not be us live. Spoiler. We gotta take care of the ladies, the loved ones in our life. So happy early Valentine's Day to the folks out there. And let's enjoy our Super Bowl tomorrow responsibly. And enjoy all those wings and snacks. And you guys inspire me on the buffalo chicken dip. I think we might have to add that. I didn't mention it, but we're going to go more of a traditional. We have a small crew, so it's going to be more of a traditional meal. I'm going to smoke some meat. But the snacks, the buffalo chicken dip might need to be, we got the orange colors and it's like we almost have to have some TSP orange buffalo chicken dip would be fire. So we might have to whip that up. That would be some good stuff. But
don't spoil it with blue cheese.
Absolutely. All righty. Well, you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.